around here for a little while. How is this training camp so far different than what it was in years past?
Right now, it's been a lot of defense, good amount of 5-on-0. Obviously, we've been competing and getting them down the court a lot, but it's been a lot of attention to detail, especially on the defensive end.
Talking with the guys yesterday, you were talking about how there's just a happier mood around the team than in years past. Are you noticing that too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it's very different, entirely different coaching staff, a lot of new faces on the court, so it's definitely been very different.
Do you have an opinion on the take foul rule that you guys are going over, especially as a fast break player like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Obviously, people are going to try to disguise it and go for the ball and things like that. So it's really whatever to me.
Darren, you've been here a long time. Just how does this season feel different, and what do you want to have go right for you this season, where a lot of things spun out quickly last year?
I mean, for us, it's really just competing from the opening tip of the first game until the last game, if that's in the playoffs or not. So, a lot of teams have ups and downs, but whenever you're down, you can't, have guys go separate ways and be splitting off. And I think every coach, every player in the league will tell you that. So, and y'all could probably guess who that was. But yeah, it's really just coming together early and staying together through all the goods and bads.
Does it feel like Mike is sort of the reset button for you and the rest of this team?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've been a part of the organization, but like I said, this is an entirely different team from any of the past 5 that I've had.
What stood out to you, just your own takeaways that maybe have been amusing to you just in these first few days?
For me, it's really just kind of how slow, we kind of start. Because they want to give us everything. Like I said, they're very attentive to every little thing. So, most practices kind of start off slow so they can teach, and then, it'll start to ramp up to where you don't have to slow down throughout the rest of the day.
And when you look at just how training camp has been I think this is your 6th year now, right? When you come into a camp, how long does it usually take for you to find the characteristics of a certain team?
I definitely think it takes a while, but I think for us, like we've said before, that we've had a lot of guys here for mostly over a month or close to a month. So we've kind of started to try to find ourselves and try to find that identity already.
You talked about working on your off-ball game a lot. How much do you feel like you've grown in that aspect?
I think I've grown tremendously. Like I said, since we hired Luke, that was one of the things when he came. It's like, obviously you're going to have the ball a lot, but to truly be a better player, you have to be able to shoot the ball and work off the ball. And those are things that we hit the ground running, starting in I think like June. So it's been a lot. It's definitely different from anything I've done before, and I've said that before. But to truly be taught that, I think is very different.
How is your relationship with Domas sort of developing both on the court and off the court?
It's definitely grown. Obviously, he's been here for maybe 8 months. But he's someone who's, easy to get along with, easy to get to know, and on and off the court. He's a willing passer. He wants to get you open, so it's easy to play with somebody like that.
Does it take an adjustment to play with someone like that if you're not used to playing with a big man who's so in charge of distributing the ball?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, we all know that he can pass the ball, but we all know that he can score the ball as well. And I had never played with a big who you can really just play through like that. So it's definitely an adjustment period, but he makes the game easier for everybody.
Hey, what's your thoughts on Kevin Durant? He's been playing with you, been seeing him on your circuit, practically all your basketball life. But what is it like playing with him right now?
I think Kevin has a lot more game than people give him credit for. Obviously, that serious, the Philly serious. You kind of saw what he could do off the dribble, but most people think he's just a catch and shoot type of guy. But he's able to do a lot of things, and then he's 6'7", 6'8". He's a lot bigger than people think as well. I didn't know he was that big, even playing against him. But he does a lot of things off the court, whether if he can handle the ball, do pick and roll, catch and shoot, or just play off of closeouts. He can do a lot of things offensively.
What his attitude is like, his personality is like. He's really laid back and calm, cool,
super laid back. But I mean, once he steps on the floor, he's ready to go.
I know there's so much a focus on what you guys are doing right now, but do you allow yourself to, maybe it happened earlier in the summer, but do you allow yourself to kind of look at the way the league has evolved, different teams have maybe added or subtracted, and where they kind of stand around you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those are things that you pay attention to, but for us, I think we definitely control our own destiny.
Accountability is a word that's come up a lot here the last couple of years. What I don't know. What do you think it takes to achieve good accountability, and what signs might you be seeing?
I mean, for one, it's you can't be afraid to say something, and for one, Mike is gonna say something about everything. If it's small, he's gonna say something. If it's big, he's gonna say something. And I think that's one thing that good teams want and they need, because little things start to add up. We've talked about that for years. Mixed boxed out, a slightly missed defensive assignment that can just break down an entire possession. If he sees something, he's going to say it, and that's good. But also when we're playing, he's going to say it, but not to the point where it's going to slow us down for a minute or two and guys start getting stiff. So he's going to say it, get what he has to say out, and then we keep going.